Today we're back looking at r/I'm an a-hole. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a Reddit page where people can put in a scenario that's happening in their life and we get to judge them. So this whole video is basically me judging people. I'm an a-hole for laughing when my son came home from meeting his girlfriend's parents because he chose to behave like he does at home. Something tells me this guy's manners might not have been the best. My son burps a lot while eating. I've tried to tell him multiple times that it is rude. I've told him to slow down so he doesn't swallow air with his food. I've told him that it is disgusting. My wife will instantly jump in to defend him. She will say that it's just the way he is and it's not his fault. Well, that's not true. Put it this way, if you eat food quickly, you're either gonna vomit it up or burp it up. And in this case, he's a bit of a burper. The thing is, he can't control himself when I remind him, but just chooses not to. He just went on a date with his girlfriend last night and she tore him a new a-hole. It was his first time meeting her parents since they live in another city. They went out to a fancy restaurant and he burped all the way through supper. He came home almost in tears from her chewing him out for behaving like a jackass in front of her family. Okay, well that's a bit of an overreaction. I mean, put it this way, if you're gonna burp in front of your family, that's fine. It's not gonna hurt anyone. If you're out in a fancy restaurant with your girlfriend, with her parents, and you act like that, you're obviously gonna get screamed at. I heard him tell my wife about it and I laughed. She asked what was so funny and I reminded them both that I'd tried dozens if not hundreds of times to teach him about table manners and he rejected them and she protected him. I said that now he's a grown man, he had to learn the hard way. They both think she overacted and that I'm being an a-hole for being amused by his experience, but you're not though. Put it this way, if he learned basic table manners none of this would happen. How old is this guy? Like, I'm gonna assume he's maybe 17, 18. You should not be burping at that age when you're eating food. Yet again, if you're around your family, that's fine. Not out in a fancy restaurant. Not the a-hole. I also laughed at this. How old is your son? Doesn't matter either way. There are times for this behavior. Dinner at a restaurant is not one of those times. Girlfriend did not overact. Hopefully he learns a valuable lesson from this. He should have known not to burp at a restaurant anyways. What person goes to a restaurant and burps the whole way through supper? That's bad table manners. And yet again, you have tried to tell multiple times to are the a-hole now. Not the a-hole original poster. To vote this way, I'm taking a leap of faith that you and his doctor have eliminated the possibility that your son has a medical issue. And I'm assuming he's just an immature and poorly socialized young man. Sadly, I know a few young men who think they can burp and fart around girlfriends and their parents, same as they do with their brothers. Still consider apologizing for laughing at his situation and introduce him to the Art of Manliness website. I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest, you really need to apologize now. It's not that deep. At the end of the day, if he's going out with his girlfriend and his girlfriend's parents, he should know not to burp. Everyone knows that, so it's his own fault. I don't have any sympathy for him. I'm an a-hole for telling one of my daughter's classmates' mums to F off about what I put in my daughter's lunch. For some context before the story, I 38 female cook Asian food all the time for dinner, and for my daughter Lily's lunches at school. This is because my family enjoys these foods. I like to cook these foods and my mum cooked a bunch of these foods growing up and she's half Japanese. Oftentimes I'll either give my daughter some leftovers from last night's dinner, let's say fruit/veggie and a snack, or I'll make her a quick little bento box or some other thing really quick. So after school one day, my daughter wanted to play in the playground for a bit before we went home. I said she could play for a few minutes and she ran off to play. I was waiting next to this other parent who we'll call Deborah. While I was waiting, Deborah came up to me. Okay, so what is Deborah gonna say? Is Deborah gonna throw a bit of shade? Deborah, are you Lily's mother? Me? Oh yeah, I am. Why? Well, your daughter's lunches have been bothering my son and I would like to ask you to pack something else. Me? What? How are they bothering him? She then proceeded to start talking about how her son was complaining about my daughter's lunches smelling terrible and he thought that it was disgusting. She also said her son didn't eat most of his lunch because he was so grossed out. Me? Okay, I understand your son does like the smell, but can't he just sit somewhere else? Deborah, are you kidding me? My son shouldn't have to put up with whatever crap you're making your daughter bring to school. It's disgusting. And she started making more vaguely racist complaints, but I was fed up at this point. Me? Listen, I understand your son might not like my daughter's food, but he can very easily just not sit next to her. I'm not changing what's in my daughter's lunches because you and your kid don't want to exist near Asian food. F off. She angrily stumped off with her kid then, and my daughter finished playing soon after, so we went home. I talked to my husband about it and he said that maybe I shouldn't have told her to F off to avoid her bothering us in the future. I'm an a-hole. I'm gonna say no, you're not. Whenever I first read that title, I was assuming that you were giving your kids like loads of candy. There were kids in my school where like their lunches were not lunches, it was literally just sweets. So if that was gonna be the story, I was gonna be against you. However, you're literally giving your daughter food. It's Asian food, like it's edible. Quite clearly that woman doesn't think that, and something tells me she's also white. I'm just getting a bit of weird vibes off that woman. F off was the nicest thing you could have said to her, not the a-hole. Exactly. Who is she to come up to you and basically tell you to stop giving your child the food you're giving her? If it stinks, tough, go outside. You know, if that puts you off your lunch, it's you problem. And it's the fact that she also made racist comments towards you. You'd think her being a grown-ass adult should know better. Definitely this, but I would also make a point of emailing the school or speaking to a teacher to request a boy should not be put anywhere near her daughter because of his mother's racist request. Exactly. Put it this way, like if the son hears the mother talking about that child, the son might say stuff to her. It kind of makes me sad that kid will grow up with a parent like that. Like I wonder what that parent is saying to that child. I'm an a-hole for telling my daughter she's a disappointment. Okay, so I'm gonna look at that and read it again. I'm an a-hole for telling my daughter she's a disappointment. Let me think. Yes, you are. I have two daughters, 23 female and 20 female. They're both so beautiful and smart and I really love them both. I always wanted them to be strong and independent women who would stand on their own feet and I tried to raise them that way. They were both interested in volleyball. I always supported their interests. My younger is still playing in a team and also studying at a good university. He is really hard working working, and even if she does not succeed in playing professional volleyball, she would definitely have a good job. My older daughter quit both sports and school when she got pregnant at the age of 18. Okay, so I think I know where this is going to go. Please don't tell me this is going to be a mum that shamed her daughter for getting pregnant at 18. I have a feeling it's going to happen. When she first told us that she was pregnant, I was very upset and advised her to have an abortion because having a child at such a young age would disrupt her life. She did not want to have an abortion, and my wife supported her decision. Okay, so I think the original poster might actually be a man, so we're getting a perspective from a father to daughter. To be honest, I was very insistent of her having an abortion at that time, but when I saw that she remained determined, I dropped the issue and supported her fully, even though I didn't want to. She got married quickly with the baby's father, then she decided to stay at home and take care of her child, and her husband started to work. This sounds pretty decent to me so far. She might have been in a slightly worse position if the dad ran away and didn't support her, but by the sounds of it, they've got married, she's had the child she's raising, and he's working. That's what a lot of families are like. I never wanted my daughter to be financially dependent on her husband, but I never voiced it either. But of course my daughter knows that I'm bothered by this. Yesterday we were having dinner with my daughters and my wife. My wife and daughter started talking about being a mother. My wife told her even though I wanted her to have an abortion, I love my grandson very much now. My daughter asked me if that was so, and I said of course I love him, I really love my grandson, but my daughter knew that I was bothered by her situation, so I didn't sound sincere at all. My daughter said I could give an honest answer. I told her that I really love my grandson, but I was disappointed that she had become a mother at an early age, had left school and her job, and was now dependent on a man. She didn't argue with me, but the rest of the night was a bit tense. At the end of the night she went home. My wife started a fight over what I said. I told her that she was the one who wanted an honest answer, but my wife is sure that I'm the a-hole. My younger one agrees with me, but says I was rude to say it out loud. Okay, so are you the a-hole? Yeah, Put it this way, is it the end of the world if a girl gets pregnant very young? No. You know, she is married, her husband works, she's taking care of the child. She seems to be in a pretty decent position right now, a lot better than some other women. She also did ask you for you to be honest, and you were very honest, and quite clearly it didn't go down well. If I were you, I probably would have just lied. I would have said, you want to know something? I'm happy that you're happy. Thank God you've got a lovely grandson who I love loads. Did you necessarily have to say that? No. Okay, so somebody on Reddit had this to say. I'm gonna give you some serious advice, and I hope you listen to it. Original poster. I am the daughter in this situation. I got pregnant when I was 16. Was it a great idea? Absolutely not, but once the decision was made, it was done. Well, my mum was exactly like you, consistently bringing up things like how she thought my life would be different. She was disappointed I became such a young mother. She had such bigger plans for me. It's such a shame I didn't listen to her when she told me to abort, etc, etc for years. Well, guess what now? I'm 37, I'm happy and successful, and my daughter's 21 now. I'm one of the best people literally in the planet. We also talk about this. I feel like people always think your life ends whenever you have a child. Just because you have a child age 16, 15, 18 doesn't mean your life's over. You could actually start your career at 40, 50. There was a really good quote that I heard recently. Do you guys know Judge Judy, that judge in America? She only became successful when she was 50. You would think by the age of 50 your life was over. Nah, she literally found success at 50. So just because you have a child very early on doesn't mean your life's over. You know, you can be successful later in life. But guess who I haven't spoken to in 4 years because I got so tired of listening to the crap over the years? That's right, my mum. If you value your relationship with your daughter and grandson, it is time to let go of the dreams you had for her life and focus on being supportive and kind part of the life she has now. Exactly, put it this way, it's completely fine if you're not happy or if you are happy. However, what you need to do is be supportive. If you constantly shame her and make her feel like crap, she'll just cut you off. Would you rather have a daughter with a son or no daughter at all? Because quite clearly you're starting to go down that road. So just to clarify that whole post, you are the a-hole. I'm an a-hole for refusing to sign a get well soon card for a co-worker to try to get me fired. Let me think. No. Last year I had a co-worker actively participate in an investigation to get me fired at work. All allegations were false and fabricated, and I'm still employed, thank God. However, this ordeal cost me tens of thousands of dollars in sales and months of incredible stress at work and at home. A few months after everything settled down, said co-worker was diagnosed with cancer. He's a piece of crap in my opinion, but I wouldn't wish cancer on my worst enemy. Fast forward to last week, a different co-worker sent out a group message of all our other co-workers stating he's bought a card for everyone to sign and asked everyone to donate $20 to help out. Today, after being asked why I had not signed / donated, I told him I will not be signing the card nor donating. He was incredibly upset. I'm an a-hole. I mean, no, you're not. Put it this way, you can wish somebody the best, which I'm gonna assume you do. However, you don't have to sign something, you don't have to donate. Why would you? Keep in mind, this person tried to get them fired. Why would you be there for someone who lied at you work and try to get you fired? Because I know I wouldn't. Not the a-hole. Tell the person collecting that you're hard up for money after what this person did to you, and because of him you cannot afford to donate, and as you have not donated you do not feel it proper to sign the card. If it keeps harassing you, go to HR, or just say to him you don't want to sign it because of what he done. You don't have to make up excuses. Honestly, it's probably best for you being in that position just to say you don't support him. You wish him the best but you don't want anything to do with him. I mean, that's what I would say. So no, you're not the a-hole. I'm an a-hole for requiring the guests change clothes before they sit my furniture. Okay, so I actually want to ask you guys a little question. Growing up, did anyone else's parents get like new couches? Obviously whenever you get a new couch you want to sit in it. Not in my household, apparently we weren't allowed to sit in them. There was many times I wanted to sit in the new sofa and my mum was like, no, don't sit on it. I don't want it to get crinkled. And it's like, what's the point of you buying a sofa if you're not meant to sit in it? Like, obviously it's there for show. What's the point of having it if you're not meant to sit in it? I'm a 20 male and I live alone. I'm a very neat person. My mother kept our house pristine growing up and I helped her for as long as I can remember. I recently moved out into my own place and something that I started thinking about was how many germs from outside outside we track into our houses. I always change out of my clothes as soon as I get home, but whenever I have guests over they don't, and I have no idea where they've been or what their clothes have been exposed to. I'm gonna assume that your friends literally aren't walking through drains to get into your house. This sounds like a case of undiagnosed OCD to me. About a month ago, I bought a bunch of those clear disposable raincoats, and I started telling people who I invited over they could bring a change of fresh clothes to change into or wear one of the coats before they sit in my furniture. I also offer to wash the clothes they change out of if they want to. Okay, so yeah, this isn't, yeah, I'm gonna be completely honest, I would not be going to your house. This person's basically saying, yeah, if you want to sit in my sofas, change your clothes. Who's gonna do that? Do I have to bring suitcase everywhere? My girlfriend doesn't have a problem with this and started just leaving clothes at my place. My mum and my little sister have been okay with this new rule, but I invited a friend over yesterday. I told them about the clothes thing before they came, and when they got here, they were surprised I actually enforced it and said, you've got to be effing with me. I told them no, I'm serious, and then they left. They haven't been answering my messages either. I mean, yeah, I don't blame them. Put it this way, if you're going over to your friend's house and they expect you to change your clothes, you're gonna think that's a bit weird. You know, have you got a dead body in there? Am I gonna be murdered? Obviously, your girlfriend, your mum, or your sister are fine with it. I guess that's probably because they know you and they maybe understand something else is going on. However, this is ridiculous. You can't make your friends do this. I was talking to my mum about it today and she said it was pretty excessive and unreasonable to expect everybody to do. I disagree, but I'm kind of double guessing myself. Am I wrong here? Yeah, I'm gonna say that you are wrong. Are you expecting people to literally carry a suitcase with them with extra clothes? He's basically saying, yeah, if people are coming to my house, I have to come in clothes, change clothes, put on a new pair of clothes, and then sit in my sofa. No one's gonna do that. You're the a-hole and need therapy. I don't say that disparagingly at all. I sincerely think you would benefit from professional help. That's what I was thinking, like something's definitely going on there. Either they've got undiagnosed autism, undiagnosed OCD, or something else. What we just looked at right there is not normal. You're the a-hole, you have OCD, my friend. Yes, there are germs out there, but the likelihood of them doing harm to you is near zero. This type of thing gets worse over time, so get help now. Exactly, like I'm literally expecting this part to be in a Criminal Minds episode in like 5 years. Oh my god, the OCD color. Well, anyways, guys, that's probably that video there. If you want to see me look at more posts from this Reddit page, let me know if you will. Press like or subscribe and see you all tomorrow for another video.